Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. So today I'm going to be trading the open. I'm going to show you from the beginning how I set it up with one of the new open strategies. So I was talking to a bunch of the back testers yesterday after I was finished throughout the day, and I saw some videos that they had done. And it was pretty interesting that the strategy itself is fairly fail-safe. I mean, I hate to say something like that because trading's so risky. But let me get started with all this. So today, what you'll be getting here is watching me lay out exactly how this strategy works, line by line on here, support, resistance, Fibonacci, everything. Then you'll see me take the trades in the morning here. Hopefully they'll be successful. And then I'm also going to talk about this layout a little bit, and I'm also going to do an analysis and I will go ahead and go back and do an analysis of what just happened to trade this. So let's go ahead and get into it. Remember, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Please read this disclaimer. This is an entertainment channel. So I'm going to go over how I pick the stocks too. So basically, right now, there are 4 different open strategies being beta tested by the $1 Million Margin Club, who's putting out a book. I am one of the people who is testing them and showing them more on live videos so you can see them, but they're not out yet. So they're being beta tested. So I like this one the best from the ones that I've seen so far. So there'll be different strategies for each one. This one that I'm trading this morning is designed to only trade for the first 15 minutes of the open, and that's it. So you get in just a little after 9 o'clock, you start setting it up, and then you get ready to trade. The market opens at 9:31. You're allowed to take your first trade, and you can trade into 9:15, depending if you meet the criteria to take that trade, which we'll go over. So I'll start from the beginning, and I'm going to start moving along here pretty quickly because we will be trading in a little bit, and I want to make sure I get it set up. So first of all, how did I find this stock, TSM? So basically, I just set the scanner for a large market cap, over $25 billion market cap, a minimum of a 1 billion float. So we're not looking for a high momentum stock. That's why it's not a low float. We're looking for something that's very conservatively moving sideways. And then the ATR, I like to set for 6, 5, or 4. Right now, that's what I'm experimenting with. Now, you did see me trade NVIDIA on this, which is a 30. And it was, I did okay, but it's a little chaos, but it worked. But that's not how it's designed, because it's designed that you don't have to be that good of a scalper. You know what I mean? You don't have to really be that good to trade. So not that I'm all that good, but I'm just saying that it's designed for anybody that knows a little bit about scalping to get in and get out into 1, 2, 3, 6 trades at the most or something like that, and you're done in 15 minutes. And the whole strategy is around it has to break the pre-market high or the pre-market low before you go in. Now, why is that? So that was a question that was asked. So basically, there's a lot of strategies out there and theories out there like, how long do you wait to see which way a direction a stock is going? And then do you jump on the trend? Unlike the RV strategy, which we trade here a lot and is in that best-selling book, Day Trading Volume 1, the open strategy is a trend strategy. The RV strategy is a consolidation strategy. So although I don't want the trend to be zipping, I am looking for a bit of a trend. That's what the open strategy is. You're looking for a direction, not a consolidation. So then what signifies that it's making a direction? Well, in 15 minutes, you don't have long. So it's not going to be a huge direction in 15 minutes usually, right? So you have to set time parameters. And one of the ways that people do that is the pre-market high and low from specific times. They also do it with the first, 1 minute high and low, or the first 5-minute high and low. There's all kinds of different ways that traders believe work for them. What it really comes down to, though, is almost any of those can work. I think it comes down to your trading plan and your discipline to get out and to specifically follow when it breaks those levels, when you get in and then get out at the first profit-taking line. That's what I would do. I know you could get lucky and you could wait to the 3rd or 4th profit-taking line, but we're going to be making the profit-taking lines. So we're going to show how we make them. and then we're going to talk about the strategy of the actual whole thing. So why don't we get right into doing it. Now, the first thing I did this morning, the only thing that I did prior to coming here, is I went ahead and I marked the ATR high and low based on yesterday's close and yesterday's ATR, dividing the ATR in half, subtracting half of it from the, actually this is yesterday, from yesterday's close, subtracting half of it, and then, is that right? Because now I'm so used to having it be this candle already moving, but this is yesterday, right? So yeah, yesterday's close, you subtract the ATR from it, divide the ATR in half, and then you can see the close is right in the middle here, and then you get the ATR low by subtracting half of it, and then adding half of it gets the ATR high. And that's just giving us an overall range, mostly to mark our pivot points, because we can't really mark the pre-market high and the pre-market low yet because it's too early. I think I can probably mark one of them, because the way this strategy is, it's from 7:30 to 9:15 is what your pre-market is considered. 7:30 to 9:15. That's a specific time based on back testing. Every strategy that at the open has a little bit different places where you might mark those. Some of them are open session, some of them are pre-market, depending on who you talk to. This is back tested by the $1 Million Margin Club and all their people, and it seems to be pretty well received. But what I am finding out from trading the different ones is they all seem to be working. And I think, like I said, it comes down to discipline, but we'll go over that a little bit. So now those levels are there. This is a 1 minute chart. So you can see there they are in the 1 minute shrinking down, right? Now the first thing we're going to do after we do the ATRs is we're going to go ahead and do the Fibonacci. So I'm going to open up a 5 minute chart here, and I'm going to go ahead and auto zoom. So this is a 5-day, 5 minute chart, and we want to set a Fibonacci based on the high, low, the trough and the trough and the peak. Sorry, couldn't speak there. So we're looking for the trough and the peak. So that's at 72. We'll click it there, and then we'll go up here to 50. Okay, so there's our first, and it looks like depending on where this pre-market's going to be, this is our stock here. That's pre-market. This is open position. That's probably going to be a profit line right there if it goes down. And then the ATR would be your first profit line if it goes up. So that's pretty far away here. Pretty far away. So now we're going to go ahead and do another Fibonacci. So we do that based on the strategy is a 2-day. So we'll go ahead and open this up. This should be set for 2 days. There it is. So they're a little bit different. So that's 86. So I have to just get this exactly. Or I'm just going to type it in if I can't. I'll 87, and I'll type in 86 in a minute. So it's going to the same level, 50. And I'm going to go ahead and put in 86 here, so that's this one here. So if you can't get the right thing, just go in here and look. So is that really where I was? 29. Was I that far off? No, I wasn't that far off. Hang on, that's the wrong line. Must be this line. Yeah. There we go. I was just a penny off. So just make it exact, 86. Now, we'll make this one a different color so we know which one was what. One is 2-day and one is 5-day. Now, both of our Fibonacci levels are up for potential profit taking. Now, the next thing I want to do is let's get an idea of where the pre-market's going to be. So I'm going to reopen this up here, zoom into today, and we'll look at the first time we can mark, which is 7:30. So we can mark a low, what's our or a high, from 7:30. So let's do, so this looks like it's going to be the pre-market high, and the low's still going down. So let's wait a little bit. Actually, we can mark the low right now. Okay, so good. So there's our high. I had it on Fibonacci still. That was our high, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's our high. We're on a 5 minute. This should be done on a 5 minute chart. Pre-market high. We'll go ahead and extend it so it'll help us with marking profit lines. Let's put it green, and we'll do a jaggedy line. So there's our pre-market high, and at 9:15 we can mark the low. We have to go from the bodies, so it looks like that body. Okay, 9:05 is the lowest. So now you can do this exact. I'll show you how to do that in just a second here. So let's look at where that candle's close was, or open was. So that candle's open was at 136.85. So we're a penny off. So let's make it 85. And now we have the exact. And then now let's double check why we're here. So that's okay. So that's the low, and this is the high. Oops, I should have extended that. Hang on. Hope I have enough time here saying extend it on. I'm doing more explaining than when I normally mark it out. Let's just double check this one too. This candle's close is 137.54. So that's right on. Good. Okay. So you saw what I did, right? I held it over, and then I looked up here at the opens and close of the candle. So, all right, so those are perfectly marked right now on the 5-minute. Now let's auto zoom and let's look for pivot points. So here we know that we're looking for profit pivot points down here and down here if it goes short. And if it goes long, we're looking for them up here. So let's start with the long. So now I probably wouldn't go. I probably would stay within the ATR. So this is the only place to zoom in to mark pivot points. So we're going to zoom in right here. And we're going to mark our pivot points where they're above the high. So we're on price action. Yeah. So this is the very first one. It hits 3 times as you go across. So let's mark that. We'll keep it green because we're above. Now you don't have to do all this. This is going to take me longer because you don't. If you're just trading on your own, you just know that your line is a pivot, is a price level. So here looks like another one here that hits a lot of times. And I mean, there's not a lot here. Did I really catch all of them there? Yeah, it just fades off after that. There's not a lot of profit points here. I mean, I guess I could find one here. So we're looking for pivot points where the stock is turned around, on multiple times. And that's all a pivot point is. It's a price pivot point. For whatever reason, price action turned around. Now, when you come to these, if you have time, you look for alignment and you look for volume. On this strategy, you will see there's not a lot of time. It's just, which is why having the preset lines come in pretty handy. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and zoom back out and do the down here. Hopefully there's more down here because it does look like it's going to break low. So we could go all the way over here. I think I can eyeball this one. So we'll go ahead and put that there, and we'll make that profit. But now we'll make them red because they're short. Now, you don't need to do that. Like I said, you can. I'm just doing this for people to easily follow. So these are picked up on the fib. The fibs are profit lines, so I'm not going to pick those up. So instead, I'm now going to zoom in because I just have this little area here to look for pivot points that might come in handy here. So profit points that might come in handy. So here's one. This is really all there is to it. You're looking for, and hopefully you're somewhat used to marking pivot points and profit levels. So, oops, I'm in the middle. What am I doing? No, forget that. I was thinking below the green, but I'm down here. So let's see. Profit. And why is that way over there like that? It says off. Oh, I checked that from across. Okay, that's a good one then. That's from way over there. So that fib's going to pick that one up. So our first one's like at 59. I do have a group of people with me that are also marking out. I don't know. I mean, maybe here, guys, I should know, but I mean, this is a little bit subjective, obviously. I mean, you know, I'm looking for enough of them where I have some guidance here, but these are kind of picked up here now. So, I mean, maybe one right there. That's a little bit of a reach. Let's look at the pre-market because I'm not far enough. Let's look at the, I mean, there's one, if it goes this far, here's one. I mean, it might just, you know, plummet, so we don't know what's going to happen, so. So let's just, as we go across here, let's just see if anything else is screaming to be marked. I mean, that's up in the middle. No, it doesn't work. Oh, wow, that's it. Okay, so that's all I really see for profit lines, unless it was the action was going to go away. But as you can see from here, so that's a lot of them. So let's start getting ready to trade now. We've got about 8 minutes still. I'll go over this layout a bit with you so you guys understand, and then we'll talk about what's about to happen. So now when you do that, you don't see many lines, right? So what is this layout that I have here? So this stuff that you can't see up here is the volume profile set for intraday to day. So that's the value, the high value of the volume profile. This is the low. That's the point of control. So you're going to see this snap real tight to where the price action is as we start. So this is another guidance that's pretty helpful if you start to get used to reading the intraday. So that's what that is. That's free. That's on the platform. And you can just put it up. If you look at my chart right here, you can see I have the 9 moving average, the 20, the VWAP, the volume profile, and then I have the $1 Million Margin Clubs indicator down here, which we'll go over right now. So this is the scalping indicator, which right now isn't showing you much because it's pre-market. But this is really, really handy depending on how much time you have at the open. It's not used as much, but it has the green represents the buyers, the red represents the sellers, the blue represents the volume of the candle. This is going to move along with it very, very quickly so you can see the sentiment inside. This is a custom script that's completely free on this channel. I haven't really gone on about the channel much. This is a free, everything on this channel is free. We don't sell courses. We give away all the free layouts, the strategies that you can take or leave. We trade them here, demonstration videos, all kinds of tips and tricks about how to set up your different indicators. And then we offer all these custom scripts that are totally free. We even have a video on how to load these things in. So look around. There's a video to watch that's to help you see which way the market's going to go every day. There's a video that helps you set up scanners, different scanners for different types of trading so you don't have to pay for a service. This is all Thinkorswim. They have a lot of really great tools. So besides the scanners and the charts that we have videos to set up and all the different indicators that you can help set up, there's a lot of videos, live trading videos in the archives. There's competitions. There's different strategies. The main strategy we focus on here is the RV strategy, which came out last March. And then a book came out shortly thereafter that became an instant bestseller. That strategy trades large cap stocks, and it pretty much changed the way anybody scalps large cap stocks because it's such an effective strategy. Several millionaires on this channel from trading it, and a lot of people making $5,000-$10,000 a week, but and even more making $200, $300, $500 a week, which is sort of what or a day, which is sort of what we try to show on Day Trading for Success. Different ways to just make $100, $200, $300 a day. Don't shoot for the moon. It all comes down to share size. Actually, today we'll be trading where everybody's going to be trading 1,000 shares. That's what we decided, right, guys? So we're all 1,000. Okay. So there's a lot on the channel. So on this layout, you have a 1-minute chart, the scalper's indicator. This is a 5-minute chart, and I'll be watching as well. So just like this one is over here. So we'll be looking at dual action here. This is my level 2. which may come into play a little bit. Now, remember, these are multiplied by 100, and 50 to 70% you don't see. So don't be concerned that this won't get filled. It will get filled with this size stock. I'll be watching the market maker when I start to trade, when I get into trying to see these lines very quickly. So if it indeed is going to break the pre-market low and be here, then we're looking for these profit levels down here. And the idea of this strategy is very simple. Once it breaks one of the levels, you get into the position until you get to the next profit line and get out. So now trade is over. You do not go long in this strategy if the price action has been, once it's breaking down. The only time you trade long is when you break this level. So you're not doing a back and forth like typical scalping. This is a different type of strategy. It's designed that way to be very conservative, to help you keep the money in your pocket. If you just follow along this strategy, of course, nothing's foolproof, obviously, guys, but it's been, I have 100% so far with, I think, 8 times I've traded this, 8 or 9 times the different open strategies, 100%, not a single time wrong. So that's not crazy when you see it happen, and I think other people are having good luck too, but they're so new and so beta testing these types of strategies that we'll see. I mean, look, these strategies have been out there. This is just a defined way to trade the open. Some people just trade the opening candle. It'll come up here, and they just listen to a news catalyst, and they wait for, if that news catalyst is really, really good, then they might sit and wait and watch it go up, then wait for that first dip, and then go, on the first candle actually, and then jump in 500, 1,000, 2,000 shares, boom, and then get out real quick, and they made $500, $1,000 just like that. I still feel that's like flipping a coin, but it works for a lot of people. Other people do it on 2-minute candles, the same thing I just described. And then other people wait for the first action. They mark the high and the low of the 1 minute or the 2 minute, and they wait for it to break that, and then they do a large jump in. So there's all different kinds of ways to trade the open, right? And whatever feels most comfortable for you. And that was just a couple. There's many, many more than that, where you're looking for all kinds of different indicators here. That there's thousands of indicators, guys, that you can use. So everybody has their own secret recipe. Most of them just say you have to buy their course to find it, but you won't get that here. We just ask you subscribe, hopefully, and give a thumbs up, and we'll just keep bringing you what we find out there, and we'll keep beta testing it. So hopefully, this is someplace you'll want to stop in and see along in your journey while you're watching other people's things and reading those 5 books, Day Trading Volume 1, 2, and 3, Trading in the Zone, and Best Loser Wins. 5 must books for beginners. Read those books. They're from different authors. They cover different subject matters, and they really are the best ones out there. And the Day Trading Volume 1 is the RV strategy that we trade here that really changed large caps trading for everybody. So I would recommend those. All be links for that. So we are getting close, guys. We're within a minute of the first candle happening. Now, I'll only be trading market. That's how we do it here. We're always picked up that way. There's no partials. And we'll see how it goes today. It looks like we're going to be skirting this low level, guys, but you never know. That first candle. So what do we have here? So there's the pre-market low. That's a Fibonacci from the 2-day, the pinker one. All right, and these are the pivot points that we marked here, down here, and then there's a fib down here. So these probably are the ones we're going to be looking at. So we'll see. Hmm. 15 seconds, guys. Now, we don't go in on the first candle. If you didn't know that, we never trade on the first candle. So let's see if it's going to rebound. See, that's the thing. It might just rebound all the way up here. There it goes. There she blows. We have, wow. So as you see how this is moving up, guys, the point of control is going to be dragged right with it, which is the magnet. So this is helpful to see. It's like a spring. But on the first candle, you just can't tell anything. See, it's back down now on the pre-market low. So now if it's already down here, we can't really trade until it breaks the next one. I think I started to explain it didn't continue. But it has to, once you take the trade and you're out, then you wait for it to come back and either break that again or break the next line again if it was down here. And I don't know still if that's what's going to happen. So now we are able to trade. If it breaks that level again, you always wait for the next candle to start. And there it is. I'm going to go ahead and get it because it broke it. What did I get it at? 83. So I buy. So now I have a max loss of $500 per trade, which is pretty high. You could have jumped out right here because you thought it was going to go up. And I wish it was more definitive than that, guys. I looked at this fib as a level that would have made me get out. Obviously, I don't want to lose the... so we're waiting for it to get to that. There it goes. So we're waiting for it to get to first profit level. Got it. So there you go. There's our first trade. So that did work. But it looked like it could have shaken a lot of people out right there. Then you just would have gotten right back in as it broke the level. Now, I have a couple of choices here. The way the strategy reads is you're supposed to wait for the next candle before you just jump back in, that it continually breaks this level. So, oh my God. Now, there'd be an argument that you could have you can't go back long, that you could have waited for these other profit levels. But the strategy says, get out, bank it. You don't know that's going to happen. You just don't know that's going to happen. So, yeah, that should have been picked up there. I should have picked that up. I'm going to wait to see if that rebounds at all. I'm going to go ahead and get in there, guys, and wait for the next profit level down. Went up, get down. Is it going to hit that profit level down there? It did. I get out. Okay. So now the way the strategy read is that I can, it's pretty fast, guys. Everybody's green. Yeah. Is it when it goes back, the next level and the next candle, when it breaks the next level, you can go down. I should have got in right here. I was not even focusing. I should have got in right there. Instead, I got in right down here and it did profit. Now we're waiting for the next candle to either break this. So this is on the way up. So you don't ever get in short on the way up, right? You're waiting for it to go down when you get in. So, I would not call this a trade. This, we want to see red candles still not a trade. Now, if it starts to pull down through one of these, you can think about it, but you should, on an upward candle, you should really wait for the next candle to go red to get in these levels going down again. Now, it may just come all the way back up. So we can't go long until we break it up here. So we're only going short. We're only going short, guys. So let's watch and see if we get a chance to do that here. It's getting risky on this. We want this candle to close, and we want it to break down if we can. So there it goes. Is it done going up? We wouldn't need it to break the 59 level because it didn't make it to the top up there. So it has to break the 36.59 unless it goes through the top. Is it going to break it? It almost did. Now it's broke that. So we can get in if it goes down now from the 85 level. Wow. Don't get in until it's on the way down. Well, it might not go down at all. So that's not good. We can't go in at the fib. It has to be the pre-market low. On the way down only. Can only go short on the pre-market low. So we're waiting here. Yep, there's no trade here. It's getting worse. So we may be going long up here. So let's see where this ends up. Gotta wait for it to break the pre-market low to get in. Another green candle, guys. Wow. Well, it did. It did. Did you see that? That was some weird action. It's way up there. We couldn't have caught that. So I'm looking for... Now, this is the nuances of this strategy, right? These were pretty simple because it followed it exactly. Now we have large green candles going up. I don't feel comfortable breaking in here till I see a red candle, some red candles on the way down. So that's what I'm waiting for a definitive breaking of the pre-market low here. Now we trade for only 15 minutes, or you stop anytime you want. Now I'm going to start looking at some of the other indicators here because I have time to do it. And you can see the buyers are really strong here. So we may be going long up here in just a second. Let's take a look at what the price action is. You cannot trade in between them. We're just following the rules exactly. Trust in your day trading plan, your max loss. Wow. So if it breaks that, we go long. Nope, it's fading off now. That'd be interesting, right? Make money going short, then make money going long based on the rules. It's just kind of sitting here now. The volume's picking up with the sellers. I mean, you could just spring up there so fast. So I'm getting ready to buy. Coffee. Need more coffee. So you guys saw me mark it out. Everything made sense. We're following it exactly. You know, there could have been a trade in here. I'm calling this. They didn't talk about this exactly, but to me, if you're on a green candle, I don't see this move. Definitely that, you saw how fast that happened. We couldn't even have caught that move. So now we're getting down to the point where we might be able to catch a move if the red candles climb down and break it. So we'll have to have that definitely talked about in the strategy because, you know, the way that it was presented to me as it went up and came back through, you could have technically got in. It wasn't a very good trade though, you know, because you're on an upward move. So you could see that you wait for the next candle, wait for this first red candle to break the level, not break it on a, you know, up and down green. That would be really hard to, with the market and the slippage to, now people have told me, it hasn't happened to me yet, that they go the entire distance of 15 minutes and they can't take a trade. And that just means you walk away. You can't, or you go trade the RV strategy, which is a great strategy. You still have 15 minutes when this ends, which is one of the reasons I like this one, because I move on to the RV strategy, which I already have set up on a different stock right now. So, look at the volume drop here, huh, since the open. The volume drops. You can't trust the patterns as much. Plus, this early on, it's really hard to trust that. You know, that's like a spinning top down here, but it's not really a pattern, honestly. You could almost call that a hammer. Not really. Oh, excuse me. We're just sitting here, guys. See if we can get at least one more trade in here. I'd like to see $500 if I could. I think I had 800 yesterday, and then 600 the day before that. So this is a lot of shares. Obviously, you want to be on margin PDT rule to be able to do this. But one thing about this strategy, if you can only take 3 trades a week because you can't make the margin, this is a really good strategy to make, you know, a couple $100 on one trade every couple of days. You see these volume profiles coming in. It is more like it's going to pull this point of control to go long. So, although, look at the sellers come up here. Look at that, right? This is why this indicator is so good, guys. It's free. Make sure you get this if you don't have it. So we're at the point of control. And there's a lot of volume, 100%. This could just slam through here, so let's be careful, guys. Let's get ready if it goes through. Don't jump the gun like I'm so guilty of. That's it. It gave me 85 up here. So the candle came in at 91, but it was 85 up here. So wow, okay, stop talking and just take profit. Let's see. Boom, got it. So there we go. I got 728. Did you see that move? So there you go. Now, theoretically, I'm just going to stop there, actually. So let's do some analysis so I have time because I do want to go trade the RV strategy. So I could have waited for this next profit level. I don't know if it's going to make it. You have the choice of picking any of these. I find that if you let yourself decide, you kind of go against the sort of flawlessness of the strategy. It's like bank the first profit and then wait for the next move. I have to wait for this to turn green, theoretically, and then it would need to break that level for me to get in, and it's not. So it's going the other way. So that would mean I would not want to trade this down again now, since this is green. Unless it was down here. I would want this, if I'm going to trade on this line, I want this candle to be red coming down. And I'm declaring that to the beta testers that that's a way more sound way to trade this. And now you're going up here, so it's the same thing. If it broke through here, I would want to wait for the next candle to be red coming down. Then I would find it a viable trade breaking back through the pre-market again. So let's recap what happened here. So it broke the pre-market here. I snagged a profit right there. And then I didn't take a trade here. And then on the second one, I should have caught it here, but I was babbling as it broke through because this is a legal viable trade. Instead, I picked it up here and it was still going down, and I wrote it to that profit. So those were my first two trades. They went off without a hitch. I was a little lagging here. I could have done better. Although actually what would have happened is if I picked it up here, I would have got out at the fib. So this was actually a greater profit. Yeah, I planned it that way. Because the fib is a profit line. Now you saw me, if you watched the yesterday's video, I held it to a second and third line. Once I had a cushion, I felt better about doing that. Wow. So again, I would want to wait for this to be a red candle, but you're right at the end of the 15 minutes. I did good. This is sort of like, if it starts to do this nonsense again, I don't want any part of it. So I would count my blessings and walk away with this money. I really have found trading this that the first, 2 to 6 candles is where the action is. It does happen, but we're really defined trades here. So guys, that's the open strategy. This is the open strategy layout. I made it available on the prior video as well as the scalping indicator. I think this is video 200, so I think it was on 199. I made it all available. So hopefully you guys found this entertaining. I am really psyched about this strategy. I can't wait for the book, which has a lot more of the details. And I can't wait till we get the scanner set up to figure out what these scanner ratings are going to do. It takes a while to put out a book, is what I keep talking about them really early before they're out, because they're covering a lot of ground in these books. It's not just a chart with with a one-page idea. It's a lot of different ideas about trading the open. But anyway, so I can't wait for that. I'm excited. I think this can work for people, and you can just be done with your day in a few minutes. Start at 8:39, mark stuff out, get done at 9:15, unwind a little bit, take your notes, remember to log, take your notes, grab your coffee, whatever, go on with your day. And go on with your day and walk away with 100, 200, 700, whatever it might be. Multiply that by 5. Count at least one losing day in there. Okay. But, you're going to have a good living. You're going to have, at least you don't have to have that second job, maybe, Now, I traded 1,000 shares. That can be made with the PDT rule, but if you can't do that, is that true? Am I lying about that? This is from a former math teacher, right, that I don't know what I'm talking about. What's the price of this stock? 137. Look, times 1,000. Don't I know how to do that? Yeah, so you can't trade this many shares, but you could trade probably 750. Let me go the other way now. You would be able to have $100,000 with margin if you made the PDT. So I'll divide that, which some of you have probably already done, by the price. Look, we'll just call it 137. So you would have been able to do at least 700 shares. So you wouldn't have had quite this much money, but you could have done 700 shares and been close to that, probably $500. So unless, a lot of people, when they make the PDT, they have 30,000 or 35,000. Then you could have done it, right? So it's just or variation of that. Or if you're trying to build up your account and you only have 100 shares, you would have made $72. So it's just everybody is in a different position, and it's just, I've spent many years to be able to do what I do here. So you have to pay the piper first, right? Okay, guys, I hope this was enjoyable. Remember, trade in a sim first. Be careful out there. Always be inquisitive and stay green.